and they're using the R, the G and the B values on the point of the surface at that point in time to determine its current orientation. So this will actually cause a much more chaotic result. So to see that in action, what I'll actually do is I'll use a cache operator, and that will allow us to see it in real time. Where you can see here, it's actually much too slow to actually see that in real time. So I'll just go back to the beginning frame and just turn off the operator for a second. Go down here and get a cache operator. There we go. Pop it in here. Select the cache operator. I'll set the memory size limit to unlimited. There we go. And I'll turn on the speed by surface. There we go. And now if I press play on the cache, we'll actually see how this works. So I'll just press play, and you can see particle flow is actually working its way through the flow, and it will actually go through the entire time range. And once it's finished, we'll be able to see that in real time. So I'll just leave it do that. Okay, so it's finished caching the particles, and you can see the result here. There go the particles flying through the air. And as you can see, they're being constantly updated over time by the animating texture on the sphere. So that's quite an interesting feature. You know, you can do quite interesting results with that. And on top of that, don't forget as well, you know, the surface could be animated as well. So it's, you know, very, very flexible. So let me just stop that there. Go back to frame 0. I'll get rid of this cache operator. There we go, just deleting it. And we'll change the speed by surface to not be using the animated shape, and we'll just make it set the speed once. There we go. And the other option is the same thing basically, except that the orientation of the particles is based on their local axis rather than the world axis. So X, Y, and Z is actual local space axis rather than world space axis. So you can see you've got some pretty cool control with those different options there with the speed by material. I'll just turn that off again. There we go, there go our particles. We've still got a lot of particles, so I'll actually go in and put those back down to a smaller number, like 50. There we go. And out go the particles again. So as I said, we have control of the surface normals here. You know, you can control the direction based on the surface normals, or out of surface or parallel to surface. Then you have some divergence, which you can actually put in here. And then, as I said, you know, if there are any values which you've actually animated here, the speed value or the divergence, or you know, anything like that, then you can actually control how those are applied to your particles using animation offset keying. So as you can see, speed by surface is a very flexible operator. It has a lot of power. You can do many different effects with it, and it's well worth, again, you know, loading up this example file from the DVD, and you can see it's called example operator speed, and having a look at this particular setup, which is speed by surface, and seeing exactly what you can do with it and becoming familiar with it before you actually use it, you know, in anger in your production files. Okay, from there we're going to move on to the next operator, which is speed by icon.